Alright, so we need to find our critical values, which come from the zeros in the numerator and the denominator. So what are the zeros from the numerator? Maybe you don't want to answer. Okay, so we've got... No, you're fine. It's okay. So what? Sure, or whatever. Just give me any of the zeros there. Yep. Perfect. That's what they are. Now, the -3 is an x-intercept, so that one could be included in 0. However, this particular problem does not want to include 0. We don't have an equal to. And so that means it doesn't matter whether we're including 0, like including x-intercepts and not including asymptotes, because none of them are included. They're all going to be parentheses, right? So now we just need to do our intervals. Just kind of put these in order on a number line, just for a visual for myself. Okay, and all of them would be just parentheses. Okay, so for our intervals, we would have -∞ to -3, and then -3 to -1, and then -1 to 1, and 1 to infinity. Like I was starting to say, if there had been an equal sign, then we would want to make sure we had brackets around the -3's, because it could include the x-intercept but not the asymptotes. Because the 1 and -1 would be asymptotes. So they're never included. Alright, so now we just find test values. So maybe a -4 in here. -2, 0 would be an obvious choice there. I don't know. Do you like those test values? Okay. So now I'll just plug them in. So -4 plus 3 is -1 squared. -1 squared gives me a positive. I don't really care what the answer is. I just care whether it's going to be positive or negative. And then -4 minus 1 would be negative, but squared is going to be positive. And then -4 plus 1 is -3, so there's a negative. So a positive divided by a positive and a negative is going to be an overall negative answer. So this one would not work for the greater than 0. So this interval right here is false. Okay, let's try a -2. So -2 plus 3 is 1 squared, which would be positive. -2 minus 1 is -3 squared, which is positive. Those are always going to be positive, huh? So the determining whether it's going to be positive or negative is this last set of parentheses right here. That's really the only thing we need to take a look at. So -2 plus 1 is -1. So that one again is going to be negative. So that's not greater than 0. Okay, let's try 0. So positive, because it's always positive because it's squared. Positive, and then this is the determining one. So 0 plus 1 is 1, which is positive. So finally we found an answer that's true. And then let's try 2. So, like I said, these two are always going to be positive. And then 2 plus 1 is 3, which is positive. So that one will be positive. So that one is true. So our answer is going to be this right here. I guess technically we would write the U between. And we do need to definitely separate it, even though it's kind of continuous, all of this being positive, because it's from -1 to infinity. But it's not really, because it's being broken up at 1 by an asymptote. So we have to have that gap there. Does that make sense?